graph paper and a straight edge. Don't need a ruler. Now you'll notice on here, so this is a 1/4 inch. So if you're doing a house, let's see if I have a floor plan on this one. Can't remember what's here. There's a little mock-up of something that I was working on. So I don't know if this is to scale, but on a building plan, you'll have a 1/4 inch to the foot. I'm not going to do that for the planter box, but just to show you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's an 8-foot wall, a little closet there, and little open storage area. Yeah, this was a little project that hasn't been built. Probably won't get built. It was for a spec. There's the garage, 20 by 22. And yeah, a fun little project to design and work on. Everything starts in the mind first, then paper, and then goes from there. We've got 48 inches of a width. We have 9 inches on the inside. And then we have, this of course is not to scale. And we have a 6-inch depth on the inside. So, sorry, that's not quite lined up. What we're gonna have, this is not my drawing. We're gonna have trim across the top. That's just a 1 by, so inch and a, or sorry, a 1 by 2. This piece right here is gonna be our top. So this is called like a 1 by 2, but the nominal size is 3/4 here. And this is 1.5 inches. So this is called the nominal size. So the 1 by 2 in this case is kind of the rough side, of the rough sawn one. So I primed these this morning before going to the gym. Went to the gym, had a great morning. Now it's time to get to work. So I'm gonna have that over top like that. So I've kind of started over here. Let's see if I can just move this over. I don't know if you can see my line. There it is, right there. So instead of going 1/4 to the foot, each one of the 4 of these will be a foot. So this top width, the inside of my box, there's going to be a plastic planter in there. I need 9 inches from front to back. So if I'm looking, if this is my side, oh there, if this is my side, I need this 3/4 of an inch, not a foot. So we're going to say that's about like that to there. So that's going to be this trim that's going to sit on top. So this is 3, 6, 9, 12. We're at 9 right there. No, that's 9 on my inside, right? So this is going to be 3/4. That's about there, we'll say. Not perfectly to scale. And then we have this piece out here. So I'm going to have this overhang right there, and then I'm going to maintain my 9 inches on the inside so that plastic planter box is going to fit. Now, the depth that I need from the bottom to the top is 6 inches on the inside again. So I want to go 6 from just underneath this trim piece down. So that's actually going to be there. And then that's my wood on the bottom. So we're 6 inches inside here, and we're 9 inside front to back. So these trim boards on here are going to be smaller than on this side, just so that we actually get this little recessed panel in here. So this will look like a recessed panel. This will look like a recessed panel. And then on my back, so this is the front. On the back side, so if we're inside the box right now, I'm just going to have, so that's our 6 inches. 48 inches back there. So what I'm gonna do on this back side is I'm gonna have a top piece, and then I'm gonna have a bottom piece along here. This is gonna give me an opportunity to screw into the wall to fasten it. On the front, I'm just gonna make a little, it'll look like it's sitting on a little post there. This may drop down a bit. So then from the side, sorry, I was looking at the paper, not at you. Something like that. But it'll be set in. It'll come back around like that. Go back to the wall. There. And that'll hold it up. So I have the 1x8. There's our 6-inch mark. So we have 1.25 inches to the end. So the reason, my plan is I want this to look a little bit bigger, but I don't want this the whole depth of the flower box, because that plastic box is gonna sit in here and it'll end up being 1.25 inches down. So I wanna bring, remember I'm gonna have that trim piece on the top, that 1x2 up here. So I'm gonna have this, and then I'll just put a false bottom. So the bottom is gonna sit in this area here, 3/4, right? So this is gonna be wood in there. And then this will just be the trim piece. It'll make it look a little bit bigger than it really is. I think it'll look pretty sharp and snazzy. So I'm gonna have the trim pieces around. Up here, we're gonna have 1.5 inches. So that's gonna give us that recessed panel look of about 4.5, 4.25 inches. Sorry, I shouldn't have said 4.5, it's 4.25 right there. And that'll just give us that nice little inset piece. So I've made my marks, put my straight edge there. I could use a speed square, but it's not long enough, so I'm just using this. Everybody could use a good one of these. And there you have that line. Now we're gonna make that cut. Oh, move it on over on the old Makita. So something about these saws is you always want to make sure they're set up to cut straight. And yeah, this saw and I have, we've cut a lot. I don't have thumbs in. I have my front and my bottom. This is going to get ripped on the table saw for the bottom. This board, forgot to prime it this morning, and that's quite all right. So you can see I've got some lines here already. When you have to scribe a line, just take your measurement, scribe along the side. So this is going to be my backing, because I'm going to have a piece up here, I'm going to have a piece back down here. And then the screws are going to go into the wall to hold this on. So I need 9 inches on my inside. So I am going to measure 9 3/4. Just happen to have a mark right there. 9 3/4 down here. There you go. So I'm going to put my line here. This gives me my 9 inches on the inside. And mark that line. And then I will do one more cut at 9 3/4. Gonna cut this on there, line her up. So I want this line to stay. So when I'm setting this up, let's see if I can get a shot of that. I want my blade on that side of the line. So I'll just move this over just a smidge. See how that goes right there. Oh yeah, she looks good. Okay, so hold that board, make sure your thumb and pinkies and appendages, counting devices are in, and away we go. Ooh, super nice. So here's my line. This is the back side of the front. Have the glue, and so I basically, you only need the glue or the brads until the glue sets up. Do the other side, put the board in there, line that up, and we are ready for some brads. So this is going to be my top piece. It's going to sit flush. I'm just going to glue and brad that. But for the bottom one, now these four are all the same. For the bottom one, I actually want to have a little bit of a reveal. Let's see if I can shoot that here. See, I want to have just a little bit of a reveal. It's not going to be that much, maybe more like 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to set my line down here and measure that, put that on, and it'll just give it a little bit bigger of a look, and it'll make our panels a little bit bigger too. But I think probably like this here, 1/4 of an inch. Oh, 1/4 of an inch thereabouts, something like that. I will be right back. All right, kind of a tight shot, but bear with me. I'm just showing you what I'm gonna do here on this side. So on the first side, I measured right down from the top, so that it was at 6 inches. But I checked, and of course it's 4.5. Our field on the inside is gonna be 4.5. So I'm gonna mark those 2 lines there, and then I know that I'm gonna be parallel. So I did, off camera, I did measure that other side. So I do have 4.5 on each side. So I'm gonna make that mark and then brad this last bottom piece on, and then I'm gonna start on the front. This is kind of my go-to brad nailer. One of the things I like about it, just, I guess the Boss Stitch does it as well, exhaust the air out the back. Some other ones exhaust out the top, like my old Hitachi, get blown in the face and stuff like that by the air coming out. I prefer this, much nicer. Next is this front piece. There we are, just under 48. And that, so it's 47 7/8 across the front. Let's check this bottom one out. And there you go, 47 7/8. Now, that's gonna give me my 48 overall once I put this top piece on, because it's just gonna hang over just a bit. All right, now we are gonna fill in this piece here and that bottom one, and then we're gonna have a bit wider of one just come along here on both sides. So that'll give us, it'll probably be about 2 inches. So yeah, I'm gonna go along here, but I'm gonna do these ones first and then on the other side. So I will hop on the saw and we will be our beebs. Just smoothing out that, smoothing out that primer a little bit, and knocking any of the high edges off. Yeah. Now the other thing that I'm gonna do, I have some painter's caulking, and I'm just gonna fill these gaps, let that set up, and then fill them again, and then I can give it a good once over with the paint. But it's looking pretty nice. Now, trying out a couple things for what the brace is gonna look like. and I have this. So this is gonna sit in behind the front. That front 1x material is gonna sit right there. This here though is too thin. I actually need to be here. So I started with this dimension, but I want this and this to be the same. So I got a little jigsaw work coming up. Put this on here, and just so you can see where my line is. There. Okay. And just so you can see where my line is. Sorry for the angle. All right, so make my line here. Okay. Pick that up. What I'm gonna do, just using this reducer, I'm gonna put that right there, and right there, right there. Should be pretty good. So now we have it. We're gonna come in here with a nice little radius, come here with a nice little radius, and then finish it off. So then this will get doubled up, and I'm gonna put a back on it. That's what's gonna get screwed to the wall. So this will be screwed in this way. That'll sit on the wall, then the planter box will sit on that, and then I'll still be able to drill a hole and go into one of the studs in the wall through this thing. And yeah, should hold it pretty nicely. Now, let's cut that out. All right, friends, here we have our planter box all installed. You can see I cut back the vinyl siding, put some J-trim around, and measured it so that it would fit just in between the window and the receptacle box. From the top view here, we can see the nice ledge all the way around and the recessed panels. That turned out really well. Looks like a pretty nice little box. And same width as the J-trim around the window. Take a look inside. You can see the cleat there, and there's the side recessed panel. All in all, turned out really well. Glad you could join us for this project. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. Here's a couple of other videos that we'd love for you to watch. Thanks very much, everyone, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.